What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be doing a DIY project. As many of you know, I'm going to be redoing my 75 upstairs, converting that to a sump system. So we've got some DIY things that we've got to get done. So let me just show you exactly what it is we're going to be working on today. So this is what we're going to be working on today. Need the blue tape as well. This here is a 29-gallon tank, a standard 29-gallon tank. And this here, but underneath these filter socks, is a DIY sump kit where you can take your tank and convert it into a sump. So essentially, let's walk over here, don't mind my mess. It will have all these baffles, just like this sump here does on my 180. So today's project is to assemble this, all these baffles and all the pieces that we need here, and silicone it to the inside of this 29-gallon tank, because this tank is going to be the sump for my 75-gallon upstairs once I redo that. So obviously we have to get this taken care of and make sure that this is all good and cured before we go ahead and tear down that tank. So let's hop right into setting this up and getting it siliconed in. Okay, sorry if you guys can't see me, but to list out kind of the materials of what we're going to be using today, obviously we need a tank. Again, this one is a 29-gallon tank. I believe this is like a regular Aqueon tank. I'm going to be using some blue painter's tape, rubbing alcohol to clean the glass. And here we have, let me take this out of here. This is GE 100% all-purpose silicone. It is silicone 1 clear, and that is very important because this doesn't have any of the mold resistant chemicals in it. So this specifically is the silicone that you would need to use for either resealing tanks, making sumps, whatever. To this silicone right here, again, the GE 100% all-purpose silicone, and the clear silicone 1 is the silicone that you would have to use. Do not use any others that have the mold resistant chemical and stuff in there, because that will kill your fish. Unless you want to go ahead and buy aquarium silicone at like a pet store, but that's going to run you much more expensive than this stuff here. Next thing you're going to need is obviously your DIY sump kit. This does come with some instructions here, so I'm going to go ahead and read these and try to piece this together and then show you guys what it looks like before, and then we're going to go ahead and toss it into the tank. So let me get to reading. Okay, so I'm just playing around with the pieces, but this has absolutely nothing to do with the actual install. But can we just appreciate this sound? Ah, man, this is satisfying. Let me see. Hopefully the mic's picking it up. Let me see. I love it. Alrighty, so we've got all of the pieces here out of their protective little plastic. So this is very nice, glossy black acrylic for most of the pieces. And then you got one of the weirs over here in very clear white or clear acrylic. So next step I'm going to do is go ahead and just wipe the inside of the tank. First, I'm going to just use regular paper towel, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean the entire inside with isopropyl alcohol, just to get any oils or residues, whatever, off of the inside of the glass. That way it is nice and clean for the silicone to be able to adhere properly to it. So let me go ahead and clean the inside of this and then get to the next step. Okay, so this is about as clean as I'm going to be able to get this tank, at least right now. It is currently like 10 o'clock at night while I'm recording this, and I'm not going to be going to take this into the bathroom to clean it. So I just, again, gave it a couple passes with some isopropyl alcohol. There are some algae stains and stuff on there, but it's okay. It should be just fine. Again, this is a sump, so it doesn't have to be perfectly, sealed, because water is going to be getting through it anyway. So let me go ahead and show you the next steps. Alrighty, so first thing, you have these 3 pieces here. I don't know if you guys can see that the greatest. Let me move this out of the way here. You've got this L-shaped piece, this piece with 2 little tabs, and then a missing piece there. and then this piece here with 3 tabs and the 2 circles. So basically you want this piece to butt up with this piece, and the 2 tabs here go into the 2 slots on this one. So it'll go like so. And then this third piece here has the 2 tabs here with the 1 here. They fit right into these guys here. So let's slide that in there and get this in there and kind of like this and like that. So this is essentially where the water is going to overflow, where your filter socks sit in here. So next, this is going to go into the tank. I've got to figure out the orientation, how I want this to go, because I could always flip this the other way as well and kind of do it this way, just kind of reverse. So let me see how I want this, and depending on where the overflow and output is going to be for the 75, it depends on where this is going to sit inside of the 29 gallon. I've decided that the overflow section where the filter socks is going to be on this side of the tank. We're basically, in a sense, looking at the back of the sump itself. I want it on this side because with the 75 upstairs, the overflow is in this corner on the back of the tank. So I want the shortest distance to go from the actual overflow into the filter socks. And then from here, the return chamber is going to be on this side, pumping back into the tank. So the one thing with this kit that I bought this on Amazon, the 29 gallon version, which is, again, this is a 29 gallon tank, is no longer available on Amazon. So the instructions aren't necessarily the greatest. Like you can kind of see, pause it and read here. This is where it stops, and it doesn't necessarily explain to me where the rest of the weirs are going to be going. So I'm kind of going off of the picture that I found from the ad. And it's a zoomed in picture because, again, it's not available. So it's from my recent orders. So let me figure out exactly where all these weirs go, and then I'll show you the finished, or not the finished product, but the mock-up before I silicone it. There we go. So I did have this piece here backwards, so I fixed that. This is essentially how it is going to go. It is, again, just dry fit in there. Nothing is siliconed and permanent, but I haven't done any of the siliconing yet because I want to make sure that my return pump fits in this last chamber. I've had this return pump for a long time now, brand new, never used, and the return pump, I'm actually unboxing it right now as we speak. You can probably hear me rustling in the background, but it is the Fluval C SP4. So this pump, my girlfriend actually bought this pump for me, again, years ago, and she bought it for me when I was originally going to be setting up my 180, but I ended up not needing this one when I got the 180 that's right back there because that one came with pumps. So now I have this return pump here as essentially a backup, which is perfect because now I get to use it for this tank. So let me just assemble the pump and figure out exactly where that last weir needs to be. Well, we figured it out, got the pump kind of set up. This section here, I don't know if you guys can see, yeah, so this section right here, this is where the water goes in, it is sucked into the pump, and then this is where the water gets pumped out. So as long as this pump here is below this weir, we are good, which it is. I do want to leave maybe more space in between here for filter media, and then maybe a little less here. So I'm going to tweak the placement of this and then silicone everything into place. There we have it, guys. Again, they're not siliconed in, but I did kind of move the pieces around. I want this here like this, and I'll kind of give you a close-up later, but I want this piece over here, this weir, I want right there. That way the water can overflow here. This will be essentially where I'm going to have some biological media. I will have some biological media in this chamber as well. Maybe like some sponges in between here or something like that to then overflow into this chamber, which is going to have the biomedia, and then it's going to go through the clear weirs here, down a little bit, and then up over this little weir. Now the clear weir here, I will have to adjust it. You can kind of see the little plastic or acrylic little screws that it comes with. I can move this essentially up and down, so I will have to play with it and move that clear section a little bit lower That way it kind of matches up a little bit with this section here. Unless maybe I don't know. I'm gonna mess with it a little bit more and see exactly how it is, but essentially it's gonna go like this. I'm going to mark on the outside of the glass in the Sharpie where I want this to sit. Then the inside of the glass, I'm going to go ahead and take my blue tape and tape off some lines around it. That way when I caulk it and I smooth it out with my finger, the blue tape will take a majority of the extra caulking and it won't make an absolute mess inside and it will look nice and clean because I do want this to look clean. It is my first sump, but I want it to look good. So let's go ahead and just mess a little bit with the height of this and then start siliconing things in place. Okay, after way too long taping, I finally got things in a way that makes sense to me. I know it kind of looks like a whole bunch of gobbledygook right now, but basically in between all the tape lines here, here, and like over here, this is where all the silicone's gonna go, where I will then sandwich all the different baffles and weirs and stuff like that into place so that they can dry. And then I just have it marked off on the outside with Sharpie. So once that is dry, I will take some alcohol here and just wipe the outside of it just to get rid of all those Sharpie marks, and then I'll let it dry and it should be good to go. So let me go ahead and start siliconing and see how this goes. All right, so we've got the first bead of silicone in there. Sorry about that. Now we're going to go ahead and sandwich this piece in there. Let's see if I did this correctly. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see. There we go, kind of, sort of. Okay, so now it's in. Let's go ahead and sandwich, sandwich, sandwich. Nice, nice. There we go. Not as much silicone on this side as I would like. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bead of silicone here. There we go. Now we just take our fingers and run it along these edges here. Getting my hand in there is going to be a little tricky, mainly because I've got pretty large hands. So let's see how we can get in here. Okay. Nope, yep, my big hand's not fitting in there. So we're going to go ahead and just get as far down as we can and clean that up a bit. I can get in on this side a lot easier because we've got these holes here. And again, this doesn't have to be 100% watertight because it is a sump. Waters can go through fine as long as we have a rough, kind of situation here. It is looking kind of rough right now. I promise this will all make sense. I probably should have taped the actual weirs themselves because they're getting glue all over them now as well. Not glue, silicone. But essentially, that is the first weir kind of done and in place. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these, siliconing them in place, and then removing the tape and showing you guys the finished product. There she is. She is all siliconed up. I'm going to go ahead and peel the tape off now, starting, I don't even know where to start. I guess right here? Sure, this sounds like a good spot, or this looks like a good spot. Oh, that wasn't even a full piece. Cool. Let's, this one, also not a full piece. Lots of tape all over this thing, so it is going to take me a few pieces here. We'll grab this one here, and there we go. Okay. Doing good so far. That one was probably maybe the trickiest. Oh, great. I just got silicone all over that weir. Lovely. It's okay, because this, the good thing about silicone is you just let it dry, and you can peel it off. So I'm going to let that silicone on this weir here dry, and I will again, peel it off. Can't stand the smell of silicone, this vinegar smell. All right. I'm not going to bore you guys showing me peeling off all this tape, so give me a minute. Tape is removed. There is some tape over here that's just holding in these plastic pieces that are kind of connected together there. It's holding it together because I didn't silicone them 100% together really. Maybe I should. What I may do is after this sets, I may just go in on the edges again and just give it another little siliconing all throughout, and maybe silicone these three pieces here together. But this is essentially the sump. Let me give you a close-up. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at it from the front now, basically what the front of the sump is going to be. So like I said, the corner of the overflow of my 75 is on this side, so it's going to overflow directly into the filter socks here. Go through the filter socks. I'll probably put some sponge here. It'll go through these weirs over here into this chamber, which is going to be for biological filtration. And I might put the sponges over on this side. We'll see. Then here is going to be the clear weir is going to go in here where it'll overflow again and then overflow into this chamber, which is the return chamber that is going to house this beast that is going to return the water to the 75. Like I mentioned in the last clip, I may just go over on some of the edges all throughout and just re-silicone just as a extra safety measure. You can see there where silicone touched there, so I'm going to let that cure and then just peel that off. But like, you know, along the edges here, I may just re-silicone some of these spots. And the cool thing about this sump kit is it comes with filter socks. So these are, I believe, maybe like 3-inch filter socks that fit right in there. And it also comes with a sponge for extra filtration. So I may put that sponge maybe like in here, and then I might use this little chamber here for the heater, or maybe I'll just put the heater in here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure exactly where it's going to go, but it is going to go in here nonetheless. I just got to figure out exactly where. I might put it in here just so it'll come in here, heat up, and then go through the whole system. So that is basically the install. And that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little DIY sump here on this 29-gallon tank. I will have this kit listed down below. Again, the 29-gallon version that I purchased here is unavailable, but they do have one for a 10-gallon, 20 long in black, and then 20 long in like a neon green, I believe. And they also have a kit for a 40 breeder, if I'm not mistaken, but check the link down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.